So the countdown begins. Around 24 hours to go until the big game. Yes, I'm very excited for the game, but I'm also a little bit nervous about it, as you'd expect. And of course, there's the even bigger final at the weekend between Spurs and Liverpool. But today's video is all about Arsenal, about tomorrow's game in Baku, up against Chelsea in the final of the Europa League. And I just want to get my thoughts out there. I want to talk about the lineup that I would go with, talk about the players that are missing, talk about Chelsea a little bit, and then at the end of this video, you will hear my prediction for the big game. It's going to be a real tough one. So let's just quickly go through unavailable players for Chelsea. Rudiger, he's out until August, apparently. Callum Hudson-Odoi is out, of course, until August as well. Drinkwater, as if he was going to play anyway, he's out. N'Golo Kante, unsure, I think, of starting this game. He has a knee injury at the moment, so that would be good for us if he doesn't start, but I've got a feeling he will. And then, of course, the most recent news that Loftus-Cheek will not be starting, or not playing, because he got injured in a friendly before a final. A friendly! Charity or not, you don't play friendlies before a European final, even if you didn't think you were going to get there. It's just madness. So now let's talk about the formation, the lineup. What do I think Arsenal should do against Chelsea, who I'm pretty sure, inevitably, they're going to be playing a 4-3-3. Even without Kante, I'm sure they will be doing a 4-3-3. Jorginho in the middle there. So how would I line up this Arsenal side against Chelsea's 4-3-3? Well, if you look at the games where Chelsea have struggled this year, it seems to be up against teams that play 4 at the back. And although I think we can do a good job with a 4 at the back system, I think we should be going with our 3/5 at the back system. 3 at the back when we're on the attack, 5 at the back when we defend. It's a very good system. It's a 3-4-1-2. I think Leno should be starting this game, but I think we all know that Petr Cech will be. And do you know what? I won't be upset. I won't be shocked either. It's just we're into a final. It's pretty widely known that Cech is going back to Chelsea this summer into is it a sports director role or something like that. He'll be working with Chelsea after the end of the season. When you see that, it just hurts, doesn't it? It's a bit frustrating that you've got a player, arguably the most experienced player in our team, one of the most decorated players in our team, and you're hearing reports that he's already decided that he's going back to the team that we're playing against. So just for that reason alone, I'd be thinking his head's not in the game anymore. But he's actually said on Twitter that that's not the case. He hasn't decided anything yet. I think that's just a bit of damage control, to be honest. But I think Petr Cech will be starting tomorrow, and God forbid he makes a mistake and then we lose, because that can't be. I want Petr Cech, if he does start, to lift this trophy as his final moment as a footballer at Arsenal, a Chelsea legend beating his old team. That would be very nice indeed. But of course, I would rather Leno started. You play your best players in finals. It's as simple as that, really. As for the 3 defenders, the 3 centre-backs, I'd be going with Sokratis on the right side, Koscielny in the middle, and Monreal on the left. No space for Mustafi. Absolutely no space for Mustafi. Yes, I've seen the goal he scored in training, but do you think I actually give a crap about that? Then at right wing back, or right mid, depending on attack or defence, I'd be going with Maitland-Niles, who I thought was fantastic in the last game against Valencia. Got a fantastic assist, and I think he should be playing at right mid, right wing back. Over on the left side, I'd be going with Kolasinac to complete the back 6, the back 5, including the keeper. So I would say that gives us good width. It gives us players to overlap on the attack, but also they can get back and help us out when Chelsea get on the attack. They will be very dangerous. Hazard will be playing, I'm pretty sure, his last game in a Chelsea shirt, so he's going to really want to do well. So in the middle, I'd be going with Granit Xhaka on the left side, and I'd be going with Torreira on the right, sitting just behind Mesut Ozil, who I don't want to come back too much. I want him pretty much just off the strikers, and I'd have Aubameyang on that left side up top and Lacazette on the right. So a 3-4-1-2, but when we defend, 5 at the back, just get men behind the ball, hit them on the counter. We've got so much pace. I think that really should be the way we set up tomorrow. But how does the game plan go? The first minute to, let's say, the 45th minute. I think we start with this 3-4-1-2 or 3-5-2, however you want to see it. And just be patient. Just be not defensive, but I don't want to be going all out attack, because I think sometimes these finals and games like this, where it means so much to both clubs, it can be so cagey and it can almost be decided on the first goal. The team who scores the first goal it'll hit the other team so hard. I just have this feeling that if we were to concede in the first 10 minutes or so, it could go very badly. Thankfully, we don't capitulate so much like we used to anymore, and we do have a manager now that has reinforced our team's mentality when it comes to going behind. I think we are a different team compared to the last 5 years with Wenger, where we would concede against a top club and that would be it for the rest of the game. We would absolutely, the best word to explain it is capitulate. We would lose 4-0, 5-0, 8-2. You know, just terrible, terrible results where our heads drop. At least the first 20, 30 minutes or so, just focus on keeping the ball moving, drawing them out of space and hitting them on the break, getting Aubameyang in behind, giving it to Lacazette to, you know, that relationship between Lacazette and Aubameyang is so good. I want to see them passing between each other and making space for each other. And Mesut Ozil, of course, is going to be orchestrating everything from the middle of midfield, and hopefully he can find some space as well. In the second half, it really depends on if we're winning or losing, of course. If we're drawing, I think, you know, again, be patient and stick with it. I think what we mustn't do is just not overdo it. Don't overindulge ourselves. You know, let's not make a mistake where we've got all our guys forward and then they just hit us on the break. We need to be doing that to them. We need to make sure that we're patient. And then when it comes to the last 30, 25 minutes, make a couple of changes if we need to and just go for it, because I think it really will be one of those games where mistakes will lose the game and that's it. It could be just one mistake. Something like a Mustafi mistake as he comes on in the second half, because we get a massive injury to Koscielny and it ends his career. That's just something that could happen. It's scripted already. So that's how I'm feeling right now. I think the system that we will go with is the 3-4-1-2. I think Emery is a big fan of it. And talking of Emery, he's of course won this trophy many, many times, 3 years in a row at one point. And I'm hoping he can do it again for us tomorrow, because this is such a big game. If we don't win this, we're not going to be in the Champions League. And that means we're not going to get the extra money. We're not going to get the extra pull, you know, being able to bring in bigger players because we have Champions League football. But most of all, we're going to get mocked. I cannot deal with any more social media mocking. So, now my prediction. I have 2 predictions in my head and I'm trying to decide which one I think is more likely. I think we're going to go behind tomorrow. I do. I think Chelsea are going to score first, and it's not going to be pleasant, that's for sure, because I'm already stressed about this game. We haven't even kicked off yet, but I just have a feeling that Chelsea are going to score early on in this game, and it's going to be a real test for these Arsenal players to prove to us that they're worthy of this Arsenal shirt and they're worthy of the Champions League, which we haven't looked at sometimes. We just have not looked like we're worthy of it. And I think then we'll get into the second half 1-0 down, and maybe we'll make a change at half-time and we're going to look a lot better. I think that most of this season, our first half performances have been lacking, and then we seem to turn it around in the second half. And I think we're going to see something similar tomorrow, but eventually I'm going to say we're going to win this game 3-1. I feel like that the first half is going to be wobbly. There's so much pressure on us. I think actually we may not be the underdogs. I think most people favour Arsenal at this point because Chelsea have been a little bit underwhelming and they're missing some players. But I think mentally, the pressure's on Arsenal. I really do, because Chelsea, they finished higher than us in the Premier League. They don't absolutely have to win this Europa League final. So the pressure really is on Arsenal. It really is, because if we fail to win this, then we know what that means. It means another season of Europa League, and I just don't want that. So the other prediction I've got is just a solid Arsenal win, that we will go into this game and win comfortably 2-0, something like that. Both predictions end with the same result. I think Arsenal are going to win tomorrow. It's just how it's going to happen. I think it's probably more realistic that we're going to concede. I think that Chelsea will score tomorrow, and I think it'll be first. Like, 10th minute, that kind of mark. But then hopefully I'm right, and we'll get ourselves going and win. It will be a great moment lifting that trophy. I want to see Koscielny lift the trophy. There are reports that this will be his last game for Arsenal. He's fed up with injuries. He always plays in pain. It's the last game for Petr Cech as well, and I know that that's his dream. He wants to finish lifting the trophy. There are a lot of other players that could be playing their last game for Arsenal. I just hope that they really make the best of it, because it's not It's not very easy for players to get into these top clubs. You know, if you think about just the top 4 clubs in England, what is it, 25 players per squad? You're looking at just over 100 players roughly making it into these top clubs, and some of these players just do not deserve to be there, and they should be thankful that they got there, they got the experience, and that they should enjoy their last game because it's time for you to go. So there's certain players, and you know who I'm thinking of. So that's it for this video, just a little preview of tomorrow's game. I will of course be watching it and doing a review straight after. Hopefully it's a good one. I'm so nervous about this game. I can't tell you how nervous I am, because it's not normal to feel like this about something that doesn't impact your life. But when you really think about it, this impacts my life, because Arsenal is a big part of my life and my channel, my livelihood. I do a lot of Arsenal content, so fingers crossed they're able to give me a gift tomorrow so that I can upload a positive video saying we're in the Champions League, we've got the Adidas deal, we're going to be spending more money in the window, and we're back to being almost at our best because we're back in the Champions League. That would be perfect. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and come on Arsenal!